Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 17th, 2024. I'm hoping everybody had a great Monday out there so far. Everybody has a great Monday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be talking about Invest 91L. This is it right here spinning in the portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, or Bay of Campeche area here. Here's the Yucatan here. Here's Bay of Campeche, southern Gulf of Mexico. It's starting to get better organized. It is right now called potential number one. So we'll talk about that. Your forecast chart, which is your Tuesday and Wednesday. Also, the Watch and Warn Advisory map, the Storm Prediction Center outlook for your Tuesday, and also the tropical weather page as well. Because we have another system off the southeast coast that could affect portions of the southeastern United States, so we'll continue to monitor that as we get closer to the event. Alright, well anyway, let's go ahead and get the show on the road there, folks, and make sure you subscribe if you have not. We'll be glad to have you aboard. Also like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. Alright, you can see here is Invest 91L, which is potential tropical cyclone number one, which will become Tropical Storm Alberto. The first name soon. Yep, very, very soon we'll have Tropical Storm Alberto. Alright. We'll show you the National Weather Service forecast cone. Going forth winds in the yellow. 4 p.m. advisory was located here, and it was located near latitude 20.3 north, longitude 93.2 west. Maximum sustained winds 40 miles per hour with higher gusts, moving to the west northwest at 7 miles per hour. Right now it's classified just as a regular tropical wave, or with 39 miles per hour or winds, or well, almost 40 miles per hour. It's almost a tropical storm, but not quite. It do not have a characteristics of a tropical storm yet, but it will not be too long. Should be by Wednesday or later on tonight or Wednesday, should become Tropical Storm Alberto. So get ready. Our first tropical storm of the season about to emerge in the Gulf of Mexico. Alright, let's take a look at the model runs. Here are the current computer model runs here. These are the alright, currently here's the system. Moves off to the north, then eventually to the northwest, then a due westward turn going into Mexico. That's what we've been talking about, going into Mexico, South Texas. I said it could come up here, but we do have a lot of moisture with this system, so they do have a flash flood watch up here. Tropical storm watch is also in effect for coastal areas of Mexico, up in the southeast Texas as well, so we'll get to that in just a few minutes as well. Alright, now let's move on to see, we got about 35 knot winds, which is almost a tropical storm force. Most of the model keeps it at tropical storm status, so that's why we are expecting it to become Tropical Storm Alberto. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. There was something going to develop in the around the Bay of Campeche and also down into the Gulf of Mexico, and it finally is fixing to finally come to pass. So we're fixing to have our first tropical storm of the season. Alright, let's go ahead and get back to the low forecast now. As you can see here is the thunderstorms and showers across portions of Florida, Florida Keys, Gulf of Mexico, from Texas all the way in through the portions of the Carolinas, all the way up into New Hampshire, Vermont, portions of Maine, all the way back into southeast Canada, Michigan, also to Minnesota, back to Montana, to Wyoming, to Nebraska, back into West Texas. Here's that heavy rain and flash flooding for portions of southeast Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi area. Same again for Minnesota to Wisconsin to Iowa, back in through Nebraska, South and North Dakota. And up here we have some severe weather possible from Wisconsin back to the Dakotas, back into Wyoming, down into Nebraska, and northwestern Kansas. We have some critical fire weather from New Mexico to Arizona to Utah. And then we have some mixed precipitation from portions of Wyoming to Montana through Washington, Oregon State, Idaho, and northern Nevada. Excuse me, with a few pockets of heavy snow possible in a portion of Montana. Rain showers on coastal area of Washington, Oregon State. Otherwise, dry high pressure in charge of much of Canada, portions of Maine and the New Brunswick, Newfoundland, portions of the mid-Atlantic and southeast coast, down in the portion of Florida, Florida Keys, also the Cuba, Bahamas, Jamaica, down into the Yucatan Peninsula, much of Mexico, portions of Texas, up into Missouri, from Colorado, New Mexico, to Gulf of California, up into Oregon and Washington State as well. All of this activity, this was today's forecast, excuse me. Alright, this is your Tuesday forecast. Excuse me, I had on the wrong one. Sorry about that. But here's the thunderstorms and shower from Maine down into the southeast of Texas. There's the heavy precipitation. Flash flooding and heavy rain from Louisiana back in the southeast Texas. More thunderstorms and shower from portions of Georgia down into the Florida Keys. And then back all the way to Minnesota, Montana, to North Dakota, back into portions of West Texas. More flash flooding and heavy rain from Kansas all the way into Minnesota. Severe weather there too. From Kansas into Minnesota, mixed precipitation imported Montana to Washington, Oregon State, Idaho, and Wyoming region. Otherwise, dry high pressure in charge of areas weather for much of Canada, portions of Newfoundland, New Brunswick, portions of Maine, portions of the Mid-Atlantic southeast, portions of Jamaica, down into portions of Cuba, Bahamas, Cuba, Jamaica, Yucatan Peninsula, much of Mexico to Texas, all the way to the Four Corners region, Gulf of California, portions of Washington, Oregon State. Alright, now this is for your Tuesday forecast. Sorry I had it on Monday. Now let's go to Wednesday forecast. As you can see, we got thunderstorms and showers from southeast Canada, back into Pennsylvania, back into the middle portion of the country from South Dakota down to Texas. Here's Tropical Storm Alberto, which is moving into Mexico. Also got showers and storms into the Gulf of Mexico, back into Florida, South Georgia. Here's the heavy rain flash flooding over Texas, same up important to Nebraska, Kansas, also in Iowa. Mixed precipitation over Montana. More thunderstorms and showers through Wyoming, and so into Montana, Washington State, and Idaho, and Montana. Otherwise, dry high pressure in charge of much of Canada, portions of the northern U.S., western U.S., to Gulf of California, much of Mexico, Yucatan Peninsula, Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas, portions of the Ohio, Tennessee River Valley, southeast, east Atlantic coast, Maine, Gulf of California, and also back up toward Newfoundland and New Brunswick area. All of this activity for your Wednesday, June 19th. Alright, we're going to take a look at the Watches Warning Advisory map. As you can see, we got a lot of heat advisories from up here from Maine all the way down into portion of West Virginia, Ohio, back into portion of Michigan, same in portion of Indiana. Indiana, also into Illinois, also into Iowa as well, portion of Missouri. We have some excessive heat warnings in effect there as well in portion of Michigan, also into portion of Iowa, Indiana, and also into Ohio. Severe thunderstorm watches there in portion of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and also Iowa. Also flash flood watches have been posted also from portion of Minnesota, also portion of Wisconsin, also into portions of areas North Dakota. Alright, more thunderstorm watches in effect for portions of Montana and Wyoming. Red flag warning from Colorado to New Mexico to portions of Arizona, also in the Utah region. So some of the severe thunderstorm warnings over here, portions of Kansas, portions of Nebraska, wind advisories there as well. We let's see, make sure tropical storm watches for the coast of southeast Texas, also a few inland portions of southeastern Mexico, special weather statements to the south of Texas, excessive heat watches for south areas of Arizona. Red flag warning is also in effect for California. So we have some wildfires going on there as well. We got a mixed bag of watches, warnings, and advisories here. We got some frost advisory, freeze warnings, also some hard freeze warnings over Nevada, freeze warnings over Oregon, also Northern California. Winter storm watch and winter weather advisory for Montana, portion of Idaho, winter and wind advisory for Idaho. We have small craft advisories from South Carolina down to the Florida Keys, back over toward Louisiana, a little bit up here around the Massachusetts region, same from South California up to Oregon State. All right, Central and South, we have a few small craft advisories for the Hawaii Chain Island. Also, red flag warning inland Alaska. Southern areas Alaska got some hydro issues as well. All right, now we got storm prediction center time. We got some general thunderstorm from northern Maine down toward New Orleans to San Antonio, then from Melbourne to Tampa to Miami, from Fort Stockton all the way up to portions of Grand Fork, then again from Glasgow to Spokane, some general thunderstorm. This is where the severe weather is. We got some severe weather from McCook to Kobe, from the Martinal rest over toward La Crosse, Des Moines, Iowa, then from Duluth down into Omaha, also down to Lincoln. Slight risk of severe weather, tornado probability here in portions around the Duluth and Minneapolis area. Damaging winds 5 and 15%. Large hail. Pretty much same location. All right, now let's wrap it up with the tropical weather out. Leg and knee acting up. All right, let's see if we can get to the tropical weather page. Here is that system off the southeast coast. There's tropical depression 1. Well, potential tropical cyclone 1 down in the Gulf of Mexico. All right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, and consider subscribe if you have not. And make sure you subscribe also. We'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Monday evening, folks. Take care.